We can also use CSS Flexbox to create a flexible or a responsive layout. And this is actually, when you get used to it, this probably is easier than using CSS Floats. All right, so as an example, here's the layout for this basic web page. All right. Now the code's going to look like a lot is happening here, and that's just, because of all the elements. But let's go ahead and take a look at the try it yourself. Okay. And in this example, let's go ahead and open this up a little bit, and we'll take a quick look at the HTML. So this is pretty straightforward. We're going to start off with a div, which is this element right here. Okay. Then we're going to have our header, which is this element. Then we have a div, which is our nav bar, which is this element here. And then we go into the flexible grid. But I believe there's a flex on this nav bar also. So this is another, or a really simple way of creating a mobile menu without using floats. Okay, so let's take a look. We have first class row, and that should be this entire element across here, I believe. And then inside, we have class side. That will be this element here. And if we go down a little bit further, then we have class main, and that should be this area here. And then just, the content inside that main area. And then at the bottom, there is a footer. Okay. All right. So pretty much a very common structural layout. Let's go ahead and take a look at the CSS. And we'll just get down here underneath the header. Here's the nav bar. So the nav bar is being set, everything above nav bar is pretty traditional. Okay. All right. So we get to nav bar, you'll see that nav bar, this element here, is being set to flex. Okay. And then we have some styles for nav bar A and the hover. And then we get down to row. Row, remember, goes all the way across and is holding side and main. And row is being set to flex and wrap. Okay. That way, whatever's inside could stack up. Then we see that side is initially being set to 30% of row's current width. Main is being set to 70%. Okay, so its flex is 70%. Main is of the row. Okay, so let's go ahead and scroll down a little bit more here. And then we just have rules for the content, okay, and the footer. So no real big deal going on there, okay. Then when we scroll down, we're going to see that once we hit a max width, or once we hit 700 pixels, what we're going to do is we are going to apply flex direction column to row and to nav bar. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take these elements and tell them to act like columns. And we're going to do the same with side and with main. We're going to have them act as columns. So they'll stack up on top of each other, all right? All right, so once we hit a maximum width, okay, anything above that, all right, but then our maximum width, anything underneath, I should say, or over, okay, is going to be this layout, okay? Or actually I got that inversed. So we're going to have, once we hit a maximum, we're going to set our flex direction to column, so everything with the flex will stack up. Okay? And then once we get over that max width, then we will get this area going to 30%, this area going to 70%. All right, so flex direction column. So if we were to copy this, I believe, and if we were to go up, and let's just say, where is it here? Our nav bar. Display is set to flex. If we paste in flex direction column, now we're going to tell at this point that these should all stack up. I believe that's what will happen here. Okay? So we're going to turn these into columns. And we could do the same with, I believe it would be our row. So we could say flex direction column, and then everything would stack up. All right, so we're using that media query. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off. I just did that to demonstrate that those two areas were being set to our flex to a column. All right, where did I put the other one here? Row, nav bar, flex direction column. We'll take this back off. We'll run. When we're over 700 pixels, then we'll get our desktop or our tablet layout. And when we're over 700 pixels, we'll get our desktop and our tablet layout. And once we're under 700 pixels, we will get our smartphone layout. Okay, so using Flexbox to create a basic responsive layout.